Hi, everybody. Welcome to A Pop of Culture. This is the Esoteric and Facetious, and A Pop of Culture is a video essay podcast where I speak on pop culture, social justice, and the human experience from a black, bisexual, millennial perspective. And today we're going to be speaking on what I call struggle sports, the art of always being the victim. And this is going to be an episode that might be a little controversial, but I'm going to be speaking from my heart. I'm going to be speaking in this. I have good intentions. I don't mean to bash anybody or cause any negativity, but I just want to speak from the heart and, critically think on some stuff I've seen online and just, talk, and hopefully, we have a good conversation, learn and grow in some way from it. Before I get into the conversation, I want to plug my cover channel. I have a cover channel where I sing throwback R&B, contemporary R&B, whatever I'm feeling, whatever you're feeling. So definitely feel free to check that out if you want to be down like Brandy, and if you're down with the click RIP Aaliyah. So with that being said, hold up, before I end that off, I actually do have, it'll be linked in the cards, it'll be linked in the description, and it will be linked. It's the only other channel in my channel section at this time. So with that being said, let's get into the topic of this video. And as I said, the title is Struggle Sports, the Art of Always Being the Victim. So first and foremost, I want to say that we live in a world where there is white supremacy, there's racism, and there are systems that are in place by the powers that be that allow for certain people to have more privilege in society, to advance in society with ease. The glass ceiling does exist. The wage gap does exist. Racism exists, homophobia, transphobia, all of these things exist, right? We live in a world that is pretty effed up. Now, in comparison to the past, our world is arguably less effed up, and, we have more, as far as I know, have the most access to, health, to medicine, to, generally speaking, I feel like a lot of the world is more tolerant than it has been at times. And there's work to be done for sure. But I feel like I said, we are probably the most developed that we've ever been. And probably in a lot of places, not every place, but in a lot of places as tolerant as we've ever been, as open, as accepting. There's progress to be made. But I guess for me, the thing I wanted to talk about is, as this is something I've seen on social media, and I guess in real life. And obviously in the intro, I say from a black, bisexual, millennial perspective. So I am somebody who does carry multiple marginalized identities, backgrounds, experiences, whatever you want to call them. So, let's let that be known before I get into what I'm saying. But one of the things I want to kind of, address is, yes, oppression exists, but I think one of the things that I see that's very alarming to me on social media is I feel like some people, everyone's going to deal with, their marginalized identities in whatever way that they see fit, whatever way that they've been brought up to see that their identity. But I guess for me, the thing that I've realized for myself is, yes, I carry marginalized identities, and that may present, more challenges in my life than there would be if I was, white, cis-het dude, right? But I guess for me, the concern that I've seen a lot on social media is, this idea that basically our identity is our burden to carry. So whether you're black, whether you're, a black, a dark-skinned black woman, or, you're a black man, you're a queer person, you're a trans person, whatever it is. A lot of people, I feel like, in our society have kind of made this into their cross to bear. And what do I mean by this? I feel like a lot of people, whatever they do, they're going to view it as, let's say I'm starting a business. And instead of it being, okay, let me research and let me figure out how to start a business. And of course, as I said, it's disclaimer time. There are barriers to entry, and there's a lot of things that cause for people, especially people of marginalized backgrounds, to have it harder and to have difficulty when it comes to things in their life and, things of that sort. So my thing is, yes, that is the case, that's true. But I guess for me, the concern that I have is I feel like some people online, and I feel like there's spaces online where basically we can see people who have these trauma bonds. That's the only thing where I can call them, where basically, you'll find other people of a similar identity or experience, and basically it'll just be a circle jerk where y'all will tell each other how hard it is, and yeah, it's so hard, and it's so rough, and it's this and it's that. And for me, I guess my thing is, yes, there are barriers, there are things that'll make things hard. And this is not an episode where I want to kind of come off like I'm saying pull yourself up off your bootstraps. Like that's not the intent of this episode. But I guess for me, I just want to let people know, no matter where, like, we have a life to live, and there are going to be struggles and challenges, and some of those can come from being of a marginalized background or experience. But I feel like I said, we can allow that to affect us and to impair our ability. We can just, say, well, as a black person, as, this, as a queer person, as this or that, things can be XYZ hard, this is that. And my thing is, it can be valid to voice those concerns and to feel that and exist in that space. But the thing that I guess I will see is, I feel like some people will allow who they are on paper to stop them from trying and going full throttle. And they'll say, well, as a, let's say, like, I don't know, like, example, like, as a trans woman of color, F it, Hollywood doesn't see it for me, like, F it, like, pretty much, like, I don't got a chance, I don't got a shot. And I do think it's important for us to realize the challenges that we have, but I feel like some people will realize the challenges that they have in front of them, and they'll allow them to stop them. But for example, if somebody, like a few years ago, before Laverne Cox, and obviously there's several trans women who've been featured on, but I can only speak to what I know. But before Laverne Cox, before Pose existed, some black trans women and just trans women of color in general may have just, felt like, the only way I'm gonna be on TV is gonna be as a joke, or, people laughing at me and stuff like that. So my thing is, I feel like some people, they may get into that mindset of, that's all I can be, or that's all there is for me. And the sad thing is, like, as I always will say on this channel, you have one life to live, and, once your time is up, we don't know that there's something after this. So I guess for me, it's just, one of the things I want to say to my people of marginalized backgrounds, experiences, is feel that pain. And, if you have these groups, I feel like there's groups where you can bond with people, but I feel like the issue we'll see is, it's kind of like that incel mindset, like, where people who are incels, they will, like, and if you haven't seen ContraPoint's video on incels, then I feel like I definitely highly recommend that. But she was saying how some of these people, like, they may be people who are, either who may be average when it comes to attractiveness, or, they may not even be that unattractive, but they get into this echo chamber, this space where all of them will tell each other how ugly they are and how they'll never be able to, find a girlfriend or find a partner or find love or, have sex and things like that. So that's basically going to be all they hear, and that's all they're going to see. And basically, slowly but surely, they're going to feel like they're, unlovable and, unkayable, as I'll say. A lot of people, like, I guess that's my thing. Like, I want us to understand and call out the problems that exist within our society. But I feel like sometimes a lot of these social media posts can just, and some of these, and I'm gonna be real with y'all, there's some pro-black people I've had to unfollow, and just marginalized people, and and I've had to unfollow them, being very real, or unsubscribe or whatever, because I feel like some of these people have allowed, and they're victims of this system, but I feel like they've allowed a society that doesn't, and it's not necessarily their fault, but I guess for me, I'm going to understand the challenges I have, but I'm also going to realize that, there's a lot of things that are going in my favor, and I'm smart, I'm capable, and I can make lemons into lemonade. I can make a productive life and career out in spite of anything. So I just want to basically talk on, for example, let's say you're a dark-skinned black woman, like, and that's something I will see. I see a lot of dark-skinned black women spaces where a lot of dark-skinned black women will talk about, pain that comes from colorism, and, black men treating them with disrespect, and black men who will, go for biracial or lighter skinned women. And my thing is, those struggles are valid, those struggles are real, and I am here to support you. But, like, I feel like we can't turn it into this, like, I feel like we can't allow these trauma bonds to allow us to kind of go into this mentality of, like, niggas ain't shit, and, and, things just don't work out for me, and things like that. Like, I guess for me, like, it hurts me to see so many people, and it's like, it's whatever, and it can be any group, whether it be just black men who are, just down on themselves, and, think that, because they're black men, they can't do this, they can't do that. Like, I think it's important to view life with a realistic approach and understand the barriers, that that come with whatever experience you have, but I'll not look at those as things that will stop your bag, because I feel like there's still opportunity and you can be that change. It may not be easy, but I just feel like, for me as a young person, I don't feel comfortable just sitting here and saying, oh, because I'm this and because I'm that, things will never work. Because my thing is, like, as I keep saying, there's going to be a day when we cease to be, and we don't know that there's anything after that. So I would rather try and, exist and persist, because if, let's say, you're black, you're trans, you're queer, you're this, whatever it is, like, your mentality, like, you can change your mentality. You're not going to be able to change what that fact about you, but you can change your mentality, and you can try to find supporting spaces and communities, and that can take time and that can take effort. But I guess for me, like, I've just seen a lot of people in their 20s and 30s just kind of, I guess, resolve it to themselves that, life is just hard for, XYZ type of people. And, that's, like, I'm not going to say life isn't hard for different people of different backgrounds, but you're not making it any easier by giving up. And, like I said, I feel like people who have given up and people who have, just had a really negative view towards, their career and their future and stuff. And some people, they may have, like, I'm not saying your feelings aren't valid. And I do think people have experiences that affirm those beliefs, and these beliefs don't just come out of nowhere. But I guess for me, my thought process is, whether you're black, whether you're lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, whether you're like a minority person, like, yes, challenges exist, and challenges are going to come about in your life, and certain identities may make things more difficult, especially, like, depending on where you live, and things may not be as accepting. But I just, like, I feel like us in our life, we have a limited amount of control in some aspects, but we still have control. The joystick is still somewhat in our hand, and we may not be able to pull every move and do every move, but we can move forward, and we can do what we can, and you try to use what we have to get what we want, and just try to slowly but surely get to that place that we want to be at, rather than just, because if you're 20 and 30, odds are you're going to live to your 60s, 70s, even 80s, maybe even 90s. So if you've given up or, taken this victim mentality, and my thing is, like I said, these systems of power do exist, but, like, these, like, to be real and to be frank, homophobia, racism, sexism, misogyny, these things are not necessarily going to go anywhere within our lifetime. Things can get better, and things can become more tolerable, and we can decide what we want to tolerate within our spaces and stuff. But to be real, this stuff isn't going to just, go away like with the blink of an eye. So I just want us to, be resilient, and to not allow our identity to dictate what we can and can't accomplish. Because I feel like some of us can kind of get into these trauma bonds where we can talk all day. We can talk from the sun up till sundown about how hard it is and how rough it is. But it's just kind of like, okay, what are we going to do about it, though? What are we going to... And so that's all I have to say. That's what's been on my heart. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know, like, and let me know how y'all... Because I think there's a way to facilitate spaces where we can talk about our trauma and talk about things that we've been through without basically, I guess, making it into this thing where we're we're not growing, or we're not kind of finding solutions and stuff. Because even some of the things I've seen as, being a fly on the wall with some of these talks about, where like sometimes it may be, black women who, have been hurt because of, I guess, people making colorist remarks and claims and just saying negative things and stuff. But it's just kind of like, well, are we going to, how do we heal and have spaces for healing, but also not, I guess, make it where we're having a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. So that's all I have to say. That's what's been on my heart. Love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in the next one. But if you're having a good time, and why wouldn't you be having a good time, then first and foremost, hit a like for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and leave a thumbs up emoji in the comment section so I know you're still here. But also look to your left. There is a playlist of all of my video essay podcasts I've made before, so you can binge watch those, see what you've missed. There's a button in the center where you can subscribe if you haven't had a chance to subscribe. Sometimes we forget if you want to. And there, also hit that bell so you're notified each time I upload. And to the right is a playlist of all of my covers. As I said, I have a cover channel, so if you want to check those out, feel free to do so. And if you want to support me, if you want to support the show, then feel free to donate. All people who donate will be featured in the credits of all of my videos. And I just thank everybody who supports my work and supports my mission. You know, I have a vision of where I want to go and where I want to be. So thanks so much for being a part of it. Love y'all so much. See y'all in the next one. Bye bye.